There are muses who inspire a song, a poem, a moment of artistic genius. And then there are muses who shape entire movements. Marianne Faithfull was the latter. Her influence, spanning over 6 decades, left an indelible mark on music, film, and pop culture. From the sweet-voiced ingenue of the 1960s to the hardened, haunting chanteuse of later years, Faithfull was never just an accessory to the art. She was the art. Discovered at just 17, Faithfull's first hit, As Tears Go By, was gifted to her by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, launching her into the stratosphere of 1960s rock royalty. She became the embodiment of swinging London, a vision of beauty and cool, a bohemian goddess wrapped in lace and rebellion. Her relationship with Jagger didn't just make headlines, it made music. Songs like You Can't Always Get What You Want and Wild Horses were deeply informed by their tumultuous love affair, and Sister Morphine was co-written by Jagger and Faithfull. Marianne was more than just a muse to the Rolling Stones. She was their mirror, reflecting back the chaos, romance, and darkness of their world. But being a muse isn't just about beauty or inspiration, it's also about transformation. Faithfull was not content to remain a whisper in someone else's lyrics. The 1970s, however, saw her descent into addiction, homelessness, and loss. But from the wreckage she emerged as something altogether new. Her voice, once delicate, became a rasped, aching thing, a voice that had lived. When she released Broken English in 1979, the world barely recognized her. Gone was the waif. In her place stood a woman who had been burned by life and come back to tell the tale. This was no longer the Rolling Stones' muse. This was an artist in her own right. There is an uncomfortable truth about how we mythologize artists who have battled addiction. Faithfull, like Billie Holiday before her, became a symbol of suffering, a patron saint of heroin chic and artistic destruction. Her addiction, particularly to heroin, did not just ravage her body, it altered her voice, her presence, her art. And in a cruel paradox, this destruction made her a greater muse than ever before. Artists who have walked the same treacherous path saw in Faithfull not just tragedy, but transcendence. Her voice, cracked and wounded, became the blueprint for raw confessional music. She influenced generations of musicians who sought to transform pain into poetry. P.J. Harvey, Nick Cave, even Kurt Cobain. But can a drug be a muse? Heroin is dangerous, illegal, and ruinous, but in the world of artists who flirt with oblivion, it has been revered as a gateway to something more. Faithfull was no exception. She took the risks, and while they nearly consumed her, they also elevated her beyond the pop star she had once been. The cost was extreme, the admiration was real, and the art that emerged was unforgettable. Despite the idolization, despite the suffering, Marianne Faithfull was never just a tragic figure. She was an artist who refused to be defined by her past, reinventing herself again and again. She was an actress, a writer, and above all, a survivor. From the girl who sang As Tears Go By, to the woman who bared her soul in vagabond ways, she spent her life proving that a muse is not just an object of inspiration. They are the force that shapes art itself. Her influence is immeasurable, her voice unforgettable. Marianne Faithfull, who died in January 2025, did not just inspire songs. She inspired artists to push beyond what they thought was possible. She was a muse, yes, but she was also the creator of her own legend. If you found yourself moved by the story of Marianne Faithfull, let's keep the conversation going. Like this video, subscribe to MUSE+MUSE, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video exploring the profound relationships between artists and muses. And tell us in the comments, what is your favorite Marianne Faithfull moment? How has her music or her journey inspired you? Let's celebrate not just the muse, but the woman, the artist, the legend. And thank you for watching.